Before we reveal the shocking reason Zhao Lusi suddenly fell silent after a private meeting with Wu Lei, make sure you stay until the very end, because what happened behind those closed doors became one of the most talked about mysteries anyone had ever witnessed. At first, nobody noticed anything unusual. Everything seemed normal. Everything appeared routine. Yet within a matter of minutes, the atmosphere changed completely. A conversation nobody was supposed to hear. An unexpected revelation. A moment that left Zhao Lusi unable to find words. What happened next stunned everyone who later learned the truth. If you enjoy emotional fictional stories filled with unforgettable twists, powerful emotions, surprising secrets, and breathtaking moments, subscribe now and turn on notifications because this story becomes more astonishing with every chapter. The day began like any other. The filming location buzzed with activity. Crew members moved quickly between different sections of the set. Assistants carried scripts. Directors reviewed schedules. Stylists made final adjustments. Everything seemed perfectly ordinary. Yet hidden beneath the busy atmosphere was a moment waiting to happen. A moment nobody could predict. Zhao Lusi arrived early. As always, she greeted everyone warmly. She laughed with crew members. She joked with assistants. Her cheerful energy immediately brightened the entire environment. People admired that about her. No matter how busy the day became, she always seemed capable of making others smile. Wu Lei arrived shortly afterward. Professional, focused, confident. The schedule for the day appeared straightforward. Several scenes, a few interviews, some promotional recordings. Nothing unusual, nothing unexpected. At least that was what everyone believed. As the morning progressed, filming continued smoothly. Several emotional scenes were completed successfully. The director seemed pleased. The cast appeared relaxed. Everything moved according to plan. Then, shortly after lunch, an unexpected message arrived. The production manager approached Zhao Lusi quietly. "Someone would like to speak with you privately." She looked surprised.
Who?
The answer immediately caught her attention. Wu Lei. Several nearby crew members noticed her reaction. Not because it was dramatic, because it was unusual. For a brief moment she appeared genuinely curious. A private conversation. During a busy filming day. Without explanation. Without warning. Naturally, questions began forming in her mind. Why did he want to talk privately? What was so important? What could not be discussed openly? A few minutes later they entered a quiet meeting room. The door closed. The hallway outside remained silent. Nobody knew what was happening inside. Nobody heard the conversation. Nobody could have imagined what was about to unfold. At first the discussion seemed ordinary. They talked about filming, upcoming scenes, future projects, general topics. Everything appeared normal. Yet Wu Lei seemed distracted, almost as if he were building toward something important. Zhao Lusi noticed immediately. She had spent enough time around people to recognize when someone was carrying something on their mind. Finally she asked, "Is there something you want to tell me?" Wu Lei looked down briefly. Then he smiled. "Actually, yes." The room became quiet. Outside, life continued as normal. Inside, everything was about to change. Wu Lei reached into a folder resting on the table. From inside, he removed several sheets of paper. At first, Zhao Lusi assumed they were production notes. Perhaps script revisions. Maybe scheduling information. Instead, she discovered something entirely different. The pages contained messages. Old messages. Handwritten notes. Letters. Memories. The collection represented moments from years earlier. Moments many people had forgotten. Moments Zhao Lusi herself barely remembered. She stared at the papers, confused. "Why are you showing me these?" Wu Lei smiled softly. "Because I wanted you to see something." One by one he began explaining. A note from a difficult filming period. A message written during a stressful project. Words of encouragement shared during moments of uncertainty. Each memory revealed something remarkable. Over the years, Zhao Lusi had unknowingly helped countless people, including him. The realization slowly began settling in. Every page represented kindness, support, encouragement, moments she offered without expecting anything in return. Moments she probably assumed nobody remembered. Yet someone remembered. Someone remembered everything. As Wu Lei continued speaking, the atmosphere changed. The conversation became emotional. Not dramatic. Not exaggerated. Genuine. The kind of sincerity that cannot be rehearsed. The kind of honesty that catches people completely off guard. Then Wu Lei revealed something even more surprising. There was a time when I almost walked away. Zhao Lusi looked up immediately. Walked away from what? Everything. The answer stunned her. He explained how overwhelming pressure had once become, how uncertainty had clouded his confidence, how difficult decisions seemed impossible. Then he revealed something nobody expected. One conversation with Zhao Lusi had changed his perspective. A simple conversation. A conversation she barely remembered. Yet for him it had become unforgettable. The room fell silent. This time Zhao Lusi could not find words. Her cheerful personality, her natural kindness, her encouraging nature, things she considered ordinary, had carried far greater significance than she ever realized. Wu Lei continued speaking. You probably forgot, but I never did. The sentence struck her deeply, more deeply than she expected. For the first time during the conversation, Zhao Lusi became completely quiet. Not because she felt uncomfortable, not because she was upset, because she was overwhelmed. The realization felt enormous. How many people had she influenced without knowing? How many moments had mattered more than she realized? How many lives had been touched by simple acts of kindness? The questions filled her thoughts. Minutes passed. Neither spoke. The silence felt different now. Meaningful. Powerful. Emotional. Eventually, Wu Lei stood up. There was one final thing he wanted to say. Something he had carried for years. Something he believed Zhao Lusi deserved to hear. Thank you. Only 2 words. Yet they carried the weight of countless memories. Countless experiences. Countless moments. The sincerity behind them made the room feel completely still. For several seconds, Zhao Lusi remained speechless. Those who knew her understood how rare that was.
She always had something to say.
She always knew how to respond. Yet in that moment, words simply refused to come. The emotions were too powerful. The realization too overwhelming. The gratitude too genuine. When they finally emerged from the meeting room nearly an hour later, several crew members noticed something immediately. Zhao Lusi seemed unusually quiet. Not unhappy. Not troubled. Just thoughtful. Deeply thoughtful. People asked if everything was all right. She smiled. Everything is fine. Yet her smile carried a different meaning. A deeper meaning. Throughout the remainder of the day, she spoke less than usual. She laughed occasionally, participated in filming, completed every responsibility. Yet part of her mind remained inside that room, reflecting, remembering, processing everything she had heard. By evening, rumors began spreading. Not because anything dramatic had happened, because people were curious. Why had Zhao Lusi become so quiet? What had been discussed? What happened behind closed doors? Speculation appeared everywhere. Theories multiplied. Questions filled social media. Yet nobody knew the truth. The truth was far more beautiful than anyone imagined. There had been no argument, no conflict, no scandal, no shocking confrontation. Only gratitude. Only honesty. Only a conversation powerful enough to leave someone speechless. Weeks later, Zhao Lusi would reportedly tell a close friend something remarkable. Sometimes the most unforgettable conversations are not the ones where people talk the most. Sometimes they're the ones that leave you unable to speak at all. Those words perfectly captured what happened. Because the silence that followed the meeting was not emptiness. It was reflection. It was appreciation. It was the feeling that comes when someone unexpectedly shows you how much your presence has mattered. Long after the filming ended, long after the cameras stopped rolling, long after everyone returned home, the memory remained. Not because it generated headlines, not because it became a viral story, but because certain moments stay with us forever. Moments that remind us kindness matters. Moments that remind us words have power. Moments that remind us even the smallest actions can leave lasting impressions. And perhaps that was the real reason Zhao Lusi suddenly went silent after meeting Wu Lei behind closed doors. For the first time in a very long time, she realized that something she considered ordinary had been extraordinary to someone else. And sometimes that realization is powerful enough to leave even the most talkative person completely speechless. If you enjoyed this emotional fictional story, leave a comment sharing what part surprised you the most, and subscribe for more dramatic stories filled with unforgettable twists, emotional journeys, and powerful moments that stay with you long after the story ends.